So, to introduce you all to Dr. Ash Kumar, he's a consultant physician, executive and wellness coach, author, speaker. He's a seasoned consultant in general internal medicine with over 30 years of clinical experience across India and United Kingdom as well as US. He's a highly respected physician. He has worked extensively in hospital medicine, primary care, emergency services, including on the front line during the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to his clinical expertise, Dr. Ashish is a dedicated wellness coach and thought leader in stress management and burnout prevention. His passion lies in bringing Western medical science with holistic and human-centered approach. His commitment to this vision led him to develop the Boiling Frog Framework. It's a practical guide to navigating chronic stress and reclaiming personal resilience in high-pressure environments. He holds an MBA alongside his medical credentials. He is also author of 2 books, one of which we are going to have a launch today. As a speaker, he brings authenticity, clarity, and insight, and his session blend medical evidence and personal stories. Let's see what those personal stories are. And he also says that he offers a lot of compassionate and yet powerful message that stress is not just something to survive, it is something we can transform. So let's get to know how it happens. Dr. Ashish's global perspective, clinical wisdom, and deep-rooted compassion makes him trusted voice in the movement toward healthier, more balanced lives. Given his contribution to the field of medicine and healthcare, Dr. Ash recently received one of the highest accolades in the field of clinical medicine, and that is the Fellowship of Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons at Glasgow. Please give him a big round of applause. And this achievement happened very recently on 10th September, and it's a very great opportunity for all of us to share the collective success. Thank you so much, Dr. Ash, for gracing this occasion. It's really a pleasure for us. Thanks. And stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Sharad. Am I audible at the back? So, have we got the slides? Pointer. Like this? Yes. Hello everyone, am I audible at the end? Has everybody received this card? Can you hold it? Can everybody hold it up? Thank you. So, first of all, I would like to thank everyone for attending, especially Mr. Rastogi. And 3 months earlier, I wasn't aware of this forum, and it was quite a serendipitous thing because I just launched my book, The Boiling Frog. The Boiling Frog is about the management of chronic stress. So when he called me for this opportunity, I had recently published an article on LinkedIn that India had become the #1 country in the world on burnout. Professor Shiv Gautam is there from psychiatry. We were just having a conversation about the epidemic of mental health issues in India. So it was very timely. Thank you very much, Mr. Rastogi, for giving me this opportunity. He has a great vision. He has a great vision of bringing happiness to Jaipur and then to spread it all over the country. So, we have been listening to some amazing speakers over the since yesterday, And if you can bring this chart, the map of consciousness in front of you, everybody has spoken to you about being in joy, love, reason, acceptance we spoke about. And this morning, when we were having, yesterday morning, when we were having a conversation with Professor Luis Gallardo, he agreed that 90% of the population, or even more, lives in the frequency of red and yellow emotions, which is 175 and below. So emotions are nothing but energy in motion. And emotions are continuously giving you a data of how you are interacting with your own self and how you are interacting with the environment. So 10 years earlier, I was also in these emotions, the red emotions and yellow emotions. But the interesting thing is that I had an exceptionally successful career. And by all worldly standards, I was very successful and rich and traveled 40 countries. But yet I was feeling these emotions. And these are heavy emotions. It's like you are carrying a baggage. But in the last 10 years, I've been living in joy and love most of the times. I would say 95% of the times. And I love a Sufi term, masti. And I stay in my masti. So I will be also, I know a lot of Western guests are there. And thank you everybody who's listening to me online in UK, Ireland, America, other countries. And I will try to do a little bit of translation with the skills I've got. So in the next 20 minutes, if I share with you my journey of moving from the red to purple, do you think it will be a good use of the time? And I'm going to make the session interactive because we in healthcare, as in doctors, this time is a sleeping time, postprandial after lunch. So I'm going to make this very interactive. Okay, so bring this card in front of you. Bring this card in front of you and list the top 4 emotions you have felt in the last 1 week. I'm going to give you 30 seconds for that. 15 to 30 seconds for that. Top 4 emotions in the last 1 week. Is there anybody in red or yellow? Any show of hands? Anybody in red and yellow? Anybody in purple and love and joy? Anybody who's enlightened here? Anybody who's enlightened here? Okay, I'll go to the next slide. So let me give you one or two statistical slides, and after that it's just going to be fun and interaction. But I want to give you some data so you know what the reality is. Because if joy and love is the reality, then let us look at this statistics. 83% of professionals in the IT sector and other high professionals are reporting burnout. 52% of Indian employees across surveyed states report that they have got burnout. In 2022, we had 171,000 suicides, and we have got a professor of psychiatry sitting here. And heart disease and stroke, cardiovascular and cerebrovascular mortality is very high because of stress. Now, this is not just in India, though India became the burnout capital of the world, beating Japan. In Japan, there is a term known as karoshi. Karoshi means suicide or death by overwork, by work-related stress. So now the Gallup studies say that almost 40% of people are feeling stress, 21% feeling anger, 23% feeling sadness, and around the world in all the countries, this is the same situation. It's not only in healthcare. In healthcare in the UK and the US, 60 to 70% of doctors are having the symptoms of burnout. And I was just having a conversation with Professor Gautam, and he said that there is quite a bit of stress in the Indian healthcare as well. Now, what we are going to have is some fun now. Then, now when we are saying that there is so much of joy and love, and we have been talking about it, then what is the thief of happiness? What is the thief of happiness? Can anybody say that? Yes, please go ahead. Stress. Well, stress is going to be there. Welcome to life. Stress is always going to be there, and stress is good. So let me answer, because I've got only 15 minutes. So it is the toxic amount of stress which is the thief of happiness. And why do I use the word thief? Why do I use the word thief? Because thief is not going to come knocking at your door. Would you agree with that? Thief is going to come in a thief-like manner. And before you know, everything is gone. Before you know, your health is gone. Before you know, wealth is gone. Have you had any presence of any people in your life who had such a presence that is affected your health in a negative way or a positive way? We'll talk about micro stressors. So the thief of happiness is micro stress. The thief of happiness is hidden stress and toxic amounts of stress. So the boiling frog analogy I heard for the first time in 2014. I was attending a conference in Washington, D.C., and by Dyke Drummond, one of the best physician coaches, and I realized that I was having symptoms of burnout in spite of being very successful. And the emotions were all in red and yellow, and this was in spite of having a exceptionally successful career. And what is burnout? Is feeling tired all the time, mental fog, cognitive fog, and the lack of purpose. Feeling what is the meaning in doing everything. So kind of at a spiritual level, mental level, and a physical level, one is feeling exhausted. So around the same time, I heard about this paradigm of the boiling frog. Now, any of you have felt curious about the title of the book, The Boiling Frog? Yes? So first used by Vice President Al Gore in 2006 in the context of greenhouse effect, the slow effect on the earth which is causing global warming. What happens if you throw a frog in a hot water, it jumps out. But if you throw the frog in cold water and slowly increase the temperature, the frog keeps adapting, or shall we say maladapting, till the time it loses all the capacity and is boiled to death. Has anybody been a boiling frog in your life? There are many. So, this was a article published in a medical journal that unrealistic demands, clash of values, lack of support, and these are some of the factors which cause work-related or personal burnout. And we are not going to go into the details for the lack of time. So I'm just going to share the structure of the brain. Like your right arm and the left arm does the same thing, but with the brain it is different. With the brain, if you see, the right hemisphere is more important for awareness. It is more important for intuition, imagery. That's why I'm going to show you a lot of pictures, especially postprandial, to increase your awareness so that we can get some blood circulation going inside your brain. The left brain has got this CEO of the brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex. It's the CEO of the brain. And then you have got the lower brain, which is the limbic system and amygdala, and many speakers have spoken about it yesterday. Now, what happens when you have a lot of stress? The body will release chemicals like cortisol, adrenaline, and stress hormones, which shuts down the prefrontal cortex. And now what happens? When your prefrontal cortex is shut down, you are living at a limbic system. And that is like a teenager on drugs. Now just imagine your house is being run by a teenager on drugs. It's going to be utter chaos. Now, song, have you felt in your life that you are in a trap with a toxic boss, in a toxic relationship, and you have nowhere to go? And it reminds me of the song of people from the more senior generation will know from 1954 movie, जाए तो जाए कहाँ समझेगा कौन यहाँ दर्द भरे दिल की जुबान. I'm trying to sing a little bit. जाए तो जाए कहाँ. So this is a tragedy king. You can see that he is frustrated. He is possibly having grief, apathy, shame, and he is feeling in a trap. He doesn't know where to go. And if you are in a situation where you are feeling that you're trapped, what is the option? So one of my most favorite books, I get very excited when I speak about this book, one of the top 5 books of my life, Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl, because you will know that you don't have to go far. When we are no longer able to change the situation, we are forced to change ourselves. We are challenged to change ourselves. So you don't have to go far, you have to go inside yourself. So that is what I've created, the boiling frog effect, that now you have got full controls in your hand and you can create a jacuzzi. You see my frogs here are self-care, they are having coaching conversations, they are really, really joyful. And the creator of the boiling frog, Dr. Ash, is in the other jacuzzi. He's very calm and very content. He does not show my champagne, it's inside. So I'm going to share with you 3 strategies together because of the lack of time. 3 strategies to transform the boiling frog environment to a nice and comfortable jacuzzi. And it's all pictures, so I want your interaction. First thing is emotional intelligence. Can you name your emotions? Can you name your emotions? And then can you shift? Now you look at the picture below that. Do you wear a mask, or you are able to remove that mask and have authentic communication? And I'll tell you a story at the end about this mask thing. Anybody? Do you express your emotions or you wear a mask? Yeah, please go ahead. You express, very good. You have got high emotional intelligence. Very, very good. So you have already seen the scale. You have got it in front of you. Now, this is a work by Barbara Fredrickson. Barbara Fredrickson says in a 16-hour, she's a California Stanford-based psychologist. She says that your positive to negative emotional ratio, if it is 3:1, you are thriving. 2:1, you are coping. 1:1, you are struggling. And 2 negative, you are depressed. That means you are allowed to be grumpy even if you are thriving. Because emotions are continuously giving you data. So you have to be aware of your emotions and see what information it is giving it to you. The next thing is the value management. Value management is very, very important. And this morning we had some excellent lectures talking about one of the student who committed suicide because he was told to pursue a profession which he was not interested. And there is a culture where parents wanting children to be doctors, engineers, and what different roles. But if that doesn't match your own values, then nothing in life, no amount of yoga, nothing is going to help you if you are in the wrong, it does not match your own values. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, there's a verse, Swadharme nidnam shreya pardharmo bhaya bhaya, which means it's better to die in your self nature than to pursue somebody else's path. So this is, by the way, this is me following my path of professional excellence as a doctor and personal growth and travel around the world. Now, Einstein said the same thing. If you are going to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Einstein is saying the same thing about this. This is the most important thing. Then how do you manage your environment? Micro stresses we talked about. Micro stresses are the stresses which you don't see. Anything which is affecting your... Now, can anybody explain this? Can anybody explain this picture? What is that? Mosquito bites, a death by 1,000 cuts. Have you had anybody's presence in your life and you think that you're becoming anemic, you're kind of blood sucking, like draining your energy? You know what I mean? There are some people who fill you up, inspire you. Some people will be draining you. So you need to know what's energetically draining you. Now, draining capacity, depleting emotions, and challenges to your identity. These are micro stresses. But the good news here is that this is the law of physics, that in every factor, negative factor, or so-called perceived negative factor, is balanced by a positive factor in the environment. That's the simple law of physics. Now, where your focus goes, energy flows and becomes your reality. So if you focus on joy and meaning at work, if you focus on connection, that thing will grow for you. Of course, there are situations where there is a value mismatch and there is an environmental mismatch, and the environment is not good and healthy for you. So when your values match your environment, you are thriving. When there is a value mismatch with your environment, then you are burning out. Now, 3 ways to reach here. I'm going to go very fast on these slides because I want to go do a meditation. Self-awareness. Being aware of your own strengths, values, and emotions. Then self-care, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social. We have already spoken. Excellent speakers have spoken yesterday. I'm not going to go into that. Then we have got self-accountability. You have to let go of blame, excuses, and denial and make that choice. Make that choice to be driven by your own values, goals, and actions, and with 100% commitment, and then you will see a super hero version of yourself. That is extreme self-accountability. Okay, guys, now I'm going to do a meditation with you to illustrate these points. Just please close your eyes, just a 2 to 3 minutes meditation. Please close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. Think of the last 24 hours. Bring your attention to the center of your chest. Bring your attention to your heart. Think of the beautiful emotions you have felt speaking to others, if you had a great connection, if you listened to something which gave you some incredible insight, inspiration. Think of the gratitude. Think of the love. Think of acceptance. What amazing learning you've had in the last 24 hours. Connect with your sensations in your body. Where can you feel these emotions? Where can you feel these emotions? Remember, in any environment, we can always choose. We can always choose to put our focus on what is positive. Because always what is positive is available, and so is what is negative. fully experience what beauty you have felt in the last 24 hours. And acknowledge yourself for bringing yourself here to learn all these things. Say thank you to yourself to bring yourself here and to have gratitude for what you have learned. And gently open your eyes. And if you want, you can give yourself a hug or a pat on the back for the amazing work you have done. I'll give you 15 seconds to collect yourself. Now, I've shared 6 lessons with you here. I've got 21 chapters in the book, which I've summarized in the Boiling Frog. And the code of it is in the card you have got. And this is what Sharad told, that I received the highest, one of the highest honors on in Glasgow Fellowship of the Royal College of Physicians for my contributions to medicine. And I have a story to tell that 26 years earlier, when I was in Bombay, I had this the itch of going into learning some acting. So I went and joined an acting school, and within a month I was kicked out, literally kicked out, and they said, you did not have the emotions, you cannot express yourself. Probably had a low emotional intelligence at that time. And that is what happens. You must have seen a lot of people in politics, I'm not going to take any names, who are not in the right job. And you are publicly embarrassing yourself. I mean, I was definitely, if I was singer, you've already seen a glimpse of that. So that wasn't my highest values. This was my highest values, and I received the highest award just two weeks earlier. So, I wanted to celebrate. I wanted to celebrate this with you and my mother, who's traveling with me. Thank you to her for traveling like 7 countries around the globe in just 12 days. I hope she's alive at the end of the trip. Bless her heart. And this is my social media, my podcast, Transforming Stress with Dr. Ash, is now in 30 countries. And we are connecting with the vision of the Global Happiness Forum of bringing it to India. So thank you, Mr. Rastogi. Thank you, sir, for helping me share this vision with you. And thank you all for joining me. One final thing I wanted to share with you. Can I have one more minute? Where is my smartphone? Now this smartphone is making us dumb. There are a lot of studies which are showing, neuroscientific studies, that it is making us dumb. And it is not making us smart at all. It's making smart people, Facebook and all those things, who are earning money, and you are paying for your attention. And neuroscience is showing it's leading to a lot of illnesses as well. Attention span is worse than a goldfish, which is around 7 to 8 seconds. What's going to make you smart is this understanding of the emotional, the quantum physics here. You agree with that, my friend Casey? That understanding of the where energetically and emotionally you are, and that's why I got it basically laminated for you, so that you can keep it in a pocket, and whenever you're trying to get your smartphone, just bring this with you out to see where you are standing. And big thanks to my secretary Angel in Philippines. Angel, thank you for doing this exceptional slides for us, and I hope we had a great time. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Okay, can everybody join me for the book launch? And Sharad?
Yes. So I would like to first request the program convener to come, of course, on the stage, Mr. Rastogi, for the book launch. And can we have Michelle, Casey, Dr. Vibha? Mr. B.K. Sharma, Dr. Shiv Gautam, so this is a wonderful book. Can we have the books, please, on the stage? Why not? Your medical fraternity has written a book, Doctor. Yes. So, as Dr. Ash has so fondly talked about his book, and the title seems to be so interesting, The Boiling Frog, and it's a great occasion and honor for us. Although, sorry if there are vegans or vegetarians who are feeling a little strange by the title of the book, but then it's more important that first you read the book and make out what it actually is. So thank you so much. It was really a pleasure for the entire team to be here. And a big round of applause for Dr. Ash and his book. And we wish it becomes a bestseller soon. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.